What up? It's the Grandpa coming at you with another video. Like, subscribe, and share. Comment. All right, so this is this video is due to a request from my man D59 Mega Fan. He asked me a couple of weeks ago to come up with a top 10 NBA players of all time. Now, I mean, I really don't like lists. I mean, I like them, but like for the NBA, it's been so many players that come through, and it's been a few that come through that were very impactful. And so I'm not trying to slight anybody. This is just my thought process, and this is how I rank them. I'm open for discussion. So let's go. So at number one, going with Bill Russell. Now this was kind of boasted by the documentary that I watched last night and the last week. You might need to check it out. Celtic City. His impact on the court. The Celtics were losing. They had Bill Cousy beforehand. They were losing. They weren't quite getting up there. He come. They run off like 8, 9 in a row. So I mean, like Bill Russell was he just think of Dennis Rodman with a level mind, and then his impact on the culture in Boston, because a lot of people in the black areas of Boston, he had a bar, if I'm not mistaken. He had a bar, and he had his hands in the community. And not this wasn't a determining factor, but where he's from, where I'm from. He's from where I'm from. So Bill Russell, number one. Number two, going with Kareem, the most decorated basketball player of all time. He was dominating in high school, dominating in college, dominating in the pros, stayed in 20 years, became the all-time leading scorer up until LeBron passed him. And he had one of the most unstoppable shots of all time. So Kareem, number two. Number three, my man Jordan. What else need to be said? He's the first guard on the list. Revolutionized basketball, sneaker culture. He always gave you your money's worth, and it's not been a player to play the way he played, especially way before he won championships. Jordan was like a Tasmanian devil, and he won a lot of accolades. He was a scoring champ 10 times in a row or something like that. I mean, what else need to be said? All right, so next up after Jordan, going Larry Bird. One of the top small forwards of all time in the NBA. He could post up. He could shoot from the perimeter. He could put the ball on the floor. Get the team involved. When you have a team, even though they was kind of like clownish a little bit, and I'm gonna do a video about them, Atlanta Hawks. When you had the Atlanta Hawks bench going crazy, when you was killing their team, then excuse me. So I mean, and if Bird wouldn't have hurt his back trying to pave his mother's front yard or whatever with like the heaviest rocks ever, if he wouldn't have messed up his back doing that, who knows how long he would have played, because he was still potent in his fading days when I started watching. He was fading around 87, 88. Even though he could call upon inside forces, and give it to somebody if he had to. So number 4, Larry Bird. After Bird, who's next? Magic. They together. Magic, greatest point guard of all time. Consummate floor general. One of the first taller point guards of his time or any time. Could score he could score when he wanted to. All you got to do is just go back and look. Yeah, as a rookie, he scored 50. I mean, he had that triple double, and at the end, before he went out, he could score. Like I remember one playoff game against Phoenix before they were about to get eliminated. He went on a tear. He was up and down the court. He was killing, and there ain't nothing more terrifying than seeing him in the middle of the court. Wasn't more terrifying seeing him in the middle of the court with the ball with two people on the side of him, on the right and the left. Wasn't nothing scary. So Magic Johnson, number 5. Number 6, going with Hakeem the Dream. Hakeem the Dream, one of the most athletic centers of all time. Tremendous moves. He clowned David Robinson, put him in a blender that playoff series on the way to the championship. It's a shame that he wasn't able to go up against Jordan, because that would have been a very interesting finals, but it wasn't meant to be. I watched the 86 finals, and that was Hakeem's first finals series, and he was bananas. He was killing, and that was his first one. So he's over. He has a lot of accolades over his peers. Patrick Ewing, David Robinson, Shaq, even though Shaq got more championships, but it's no way he could get with Hakeem on the court. Now, I mean, it was wild to see when they won the championship against Orlando. So, number 6, Hakeem. Number 7, we going with Wilt. Wilt the Stilt Chamberlain. Wilt the Stilt Chamberlain was an athletic freak. Awesome offensive force. Was truly dominant. Going back to that documentary. A lot of people, since he lost to Russell, a lot of those times want to label him as a loser or whatever. But wasn't nobody beating those Celtics. Just keep peeping out the documentary on the Celtics, because they actually had a chance. They could have beat them, but like I've said in a couple of other videos that I got, if you play together as a team and you play smart, you can overcome anything. And that was what was the deal, why they was always toppling Wilt. But that does not diminish his impact on the court or what he was. He played for the Harlem Globetrotters. Now imagine a 7+ dude on the court with the Globetrotters. Now, come on now. So, Wilt, number 7. Number 8, we got the big fundamental, Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan, speak for itself. Immediately legitimized San Antonio on his arrival. He was a tremendous help on boosting David Robinson's career, because David Robinson needed a guy like that. Was one of the top players of the 2000s. 6 titles. Was it 5 titles? I'm sorry. 5 titles. And all around was, I mean, you couldn't get with him. He could post up on anybody. He was posting up Shaq during those battles against the Lakers. He was posting up Shaq. That took years off his life. That might be one of the reasons why he had low managed, because that was he was going toe to toe to Shaq, toe to toe with Shaq. Check it out. So Tim Duncan, number 8. Number 9, Kobe Bryant, the second shooting guard on this list, and the offensive show that he put on after Shaq's departure was nothing less than amazing. He was doing the craziest. He was doing some of the craziest stuff. And he whatever defense you had, he was gonna counter that. Yeah, that was, usually when they say, we're gonna shut this dude down or whatever, they do it. But with Kobe, whatever you had for him, he was gonna overcome. And then he took some of the most contested shots of all time and made them. And I think that was part of it. I think he was doing that on. I mean, well, of course he was doing it on purpose, but amazing. He was the only one close that even. I mean, he was the only one that even came close to Michael Jordan, but he just didn't. He just wasn't right there. He just didn't hit it. But like he was mad close. One of the greatest offensive players of his time. Another player of the 2000s, one of the top 2000 players of that decade. So Kobe Bryant, number 8. And for number 10, we got Shaq Diesel. Make them shake, make them shiver. MCs take note as I stand and deliver. Shaq, number 10. I had to put the big man in there. Shaq, one of my favorite players. Second most dominant big man as far as like offensive force and just girth. Shaq was the ultimate as far as what you wanted in the post. He was dunking on everybody. He was doing a little bit, doing a little bit of beating up folks during the title run. I really hated the way he did Dikembe Mutombo. He clowned Chris Dudley. Was it Chris Dudley? When he dunked on him and then did the almighty push. But Shaq was one of a kind. The only downfall with Shaq that he was lazy, and for him to reach the heights that he reached only shows his talent and his ability. So Shaq, number 10. All-time player of the NBA. So tell me what you think, D59 Mega Fan, or anybody else. I'm open for some discussion. This is Grandpa signing off. Peace.